Alright, so for today's trading recap, it's Monday, January 30th, 2023. I'm going to start by going over my zones and my levels, just because I was asked about this before. So all these zones and levels that you see here were discussed in the pre-market prep video that I did, which was a few minutes just going through what I typically do every morning. And I'll walk through how I got those just for, just to do that again in case anybody didn't see that. So this top zone here I grabbed from 2 days back high of day. That's a supply zone. This next supply zone here I grabbed from yesterday's low of day, and then the last one that we ended up touching towards the end of the day here I grabbed from 3 days back low of day. I had some overhead supply zones that we could discuss, but we never ended up touching those, so I'll leave them out of the discussion for now. I have my white solid lines. These are key levels that I plotted from the hourly or daily time frame, and the way I identified these is either very strong levels of support and resistance or very strong pivot points. And then we have our key levels that are from pre-market. So we have pre-market high here in purple, pre-market low here in purple, and then we have a couple of fib levels, and these are these two fib levels. So I'll get started with the price action. I'll walk you through the trades I took. I ended up taking 3 trades today. I secured profit in all 3 of those. I was up 3 point something percent on my Robinhood and then 3 point something percent on my Webull, and so I hit my P&L target. So I decided I'm not going to trade anymore, and I stuck to my rules, and so I just kind of observed price action for the remainder of the day. A little bit of a preface to this is with the week being a potential volatile week, and I had such a good week last week, I sized into my positions less than I typically do, and I secured profits a little bit quicker. So 3%, it might not seem like a lot to people, but that compounded over time can be pretty significant. So let's get started here. Alright, let's play the opening candle. Right at the open, we reject this overhead supply zone and then find support on this solid line here, this key level. Here we close above the 200 EMA in the supply zone, but unfortunately the next candle was a hammer candle and we couldn't break through that. So at this point I decided, with all this upward momentum to open the day, if we could break past this point here on the next candle and kind of form and complete a bull flag, I would take a call scalp to the bottom of the supply zone, and I would just take my profits right there, just a couple minutes in the trade. And then I tweeted this one out right here. So I was looking to break that level and I was looking to take it to the next supply zone. This is what ended up happening, and so let me play that out for you. Massive candle there. I took my profits. I don't have to take my profits. I took my profits right when I hit my target. Even though I may not catch the majority of the move or all of the move, I catch a big enough piece that I'm satisfied. So I take my profits there, and as promised I will show you here. So this was that call from 10:03 a.m., 12.14%. I sold around 15%, got my profits there. Next candle is super bearish candle, but we do find support on the 9 EMA. I didn't really like the price action this morning per se. These huge back and forth moves I don't enjoy trading. So here we close right at the top of the supply zone. So we couldn't break the supply zone. We closed right at the top. And for me this was, I wanted to watch here to see what the next candle did. And the next candle couldn't break it either, and we started to form a bearish candle and an increase on red volume here. And this is when I said, I'm not going to pull up the tweet, but I said, I'm all out of calls here. I think this is a zone that we might encounter some heavy resistance, so I scaled out. We ended up pulling back, dumping here, finding some support on the 21 EMA right there. Alright, so here's where I took my next trade. So prior to this candle right here, but I'll go ahead and draw it off anyway, so I noticed a bearish candle forming. Or I'm sorry, a bear flag forming. And so what I was looking at here, based on this red MACD crossover, we had a pretty strong bearish trend here intraday after we hit the top. I wanted to see a close below the flag formation, and also ideally below the 21 EMA VWAP and the bottom of this supply zone, or demand zone, sorry, because that candle would push us through several different supports, and then a candle like that I want to hop in and scalp to the next level. So as soon as this candle closed, I hopped in some puts, and then my primary target was this next key level, which is the level down here. And so I hop in those puts, and then we hit that key level. I take my profits, and this one was around 30%. And so I'll show you right here. That was a 403 put for 32.73%. So that was my second trade of the day, and then I just kind of waited for another trade opportunity. I said, yeah, we actually continued to dump. So yeah, I didn't catch all the move, but I was happy with that. We get a sell signal here, and then on the next candle we dump to essentially this key level. We were off by a few cents, but we dumped on that next candle, and then we formed a bullish hammer candle. Rejected off the 5 EMA, rejected off the 9 EMA, but we ended up breaking through this key level. Saw some rejection off the 21 EMA and the 9 EMA. And then this was pretty good. We blew through all these. So we blew through the 5 EMA, the 9 EMA, the 21 VWAP, and then we closed right below this zone. And then in this supply zone right here, we encounter the 200 EMA, which can be a very heavy form of resistance. And then we dumped there. Alright, so at this point, SPY looked a little heavy to me. That was a pretty strong bearish candle. We had an increase in volume. We still had our red MACD, and our 9 was still below the 21 EMA. So at this point, what I'm looking for is I want to see a close below this key level, and what I'm looking for is the next level down, which it used to be this key level, but now we actually have a couple more levels. So we have these two levels in light gray. So we have the strong support here where we bounced, and then we also have the bottom of this candle. So my final target would be the bottom of this candle, and so I'd be waiting for an entry. I want to close below that level. We reject VWAP, we dump here, and that is my entry right there. So I enter on that candle, and then we already tagged this this support right here, so I'm looking for this next level down to take my profits, and I enter some 402 puts there, and I end up scaling them out, and I get on these, here we go, these were 36.92%. Okay, so here we're rejecting VWAP. So this was actually kind of a fake out, I would say. So we formed this bull this bull flag. So huge candle, all right, and then we start to consolidate, and then we actually close above VWAP. MACD turns green. We don't have much volume here, but we did have volume on this breakout, and then we actually can't get past this supply zone, and we dump to this key level. All right, and then we're kind of just, I think the rest of this day is really just a sustained downtrend. And so something that I did prior that I guess I didn't draw here for you this time was, another great setup was identified we had this kind of wedge pattern where we were, I drew this improperly, right, where we were kind of having lower highs and we were finding strong support on this level, and I was looking for a candle close below this level to actually go short to the next key level. I didn't take that play, I just kind of put it on my Twitter because I was done trading for the day. And then right here was a really important level. So we hit this fib level right here, perfectly bounced off of it and formed this bullish hammer candle. So downtrend, hammer candle off of a strong level. So that's when I said I would be all out of puts here if anyone's in puts, if you're doing 0 DTEs, and then we had a very strong reversal there. So, alright, we dump back to the downside. You can see the strength of this fib by how many times we test that fib. So that's 1, 2, 3, can't break through it. Again, this key level is working really well too. We can't break through that here, very strong support. We try to push back up past the 21, we reject, and then we dump back to the key level and test the fib again. And then once we close under that fib, that's when I said, we're probably going to hit pre-market low and could expect a small bounce there, tiny little bounce, and then got rejected at the fib level in the 90 EMA and then dumped back to this key level. And then we continued to dump, tried to break out, rejected the 21 EMA again, and then dumped after. And then right here is where I was looking for, if you're still in puts, you might consider getting out. I mean, you had this whole extended move down, and we're getting towards the end of the day, and we're approaching a demand zone and another fib level. So that's when I said, we might get a reversal here. If you're, if you're in puts, you may not want to hold on to those. So we touch that fib level, we bounce with this kind of bullish doji. We have a little abandoned baby here, and then we rip on that next handle and close above the 21 EMA. And then I think we dump again. Yep. And then we find support on that fib level end of day. So that is a essentially candle by candle walkthrough of the day, my 3 trades. I'll show you my P&L really quick again. So Robinhood, 3.36%, Webull, 3.32%. Solid day today. And yeah, so I'll probably do some more of these.